use format specifier %d for character representation. If we discussed in the exam last time in the example, if I want to represent alphabet A, by simply using %c, I can represent alphabet or character, but by simply using %d, we can represent the assign number or a decimal number of your basic character. So that we discuss in under the representation of information. Then we have gone through algorithm. We discussed two example. Algorithm is nothing but sequence of instruction that your system is supposed to follow for solving any particular program, and whatever the algorithm you are referring, it is the logical representation of the instructions which should be executed to perform some meaningful task. Why meaningful task is written? Because whatever you want, that exactly has to be performed by your system. Like if suppose I want to perform operation of addition, and if suppose your system has done multiplication, there is no use of that, you will not get any expected output from your system, right? So for that purpose, logical representation of information and the task has to be meaningful. These are two important properties that has to be done by your system. Okay. Then we discuss the properties, or we can say the characteristics of the algorithm. You have finiteness, you have definiteness, effectiveness, and input output. So within one sentence, I'll give the definition. Your finiteness is nothing but total number of steps used in the program. That should be a finite number. It should not be too long. It should not be too less. Next, definiteness. Each step of your algorithm must be clear. We have discussed one word called as a unambiguous. So there should not be two meaning of any particular word, but your things must be unambiguous. Whatever the instructions are there, that are supposed to be very clear. So that is called as a definiteness. Next one, we have effectiveness. Effectiveness is nothing but every step must be have its every step, we can say it must be the basic and essential step, in the sense you cannot remove any particular step from your algorithm. If you remove either one or two steps from your algorithm, it should not be the one that we want to get executed from our system. So, and plus every step whatever you are mentioning, it is must be effective, and it should be the important one, right? That is your effectiveness. Next we have input and output. Compulsory, your program can accept zero or more input, but it should produce at least one output. Okay, so that is the basic thing. Algorithm must accept zero or more input depending upon what task you are executing, and it must produce at least one output. So these are the basic steps we can say for characteristics of algorithm. Your algorithm should reflect all those things, then and then only we can say that we have written a good algorithm. And the your algo if only your algorithm is good, you can easily implement it in a programming language. So there will be less difficulties for you to execute this kind of a program. Okay, so steps must be clear. It should satisfy all those properties. Okay, next we discuss what is the program. That is the set of instruction of a computer that should be followed. Your machine, as we know that it cannot read directly, it has to be in the language whichever it is understood by the system, and we know system accepts the machine code only, and we are writing our program in a simple English language. So the task of your system is to change your language, that is English language or whatever high level language you are using, into the language that will be understand by your system. So the two components, compiler and interpreter, makes very crucial role for converting this English to your machine code itself. So for that we discuss some of the steps of C program life cycle. your steps are in a 6 mode. So you are writing a code, and that is in your editor. It is in a .c extension. I told you that last time, if you I asked you to check whether in a bin folder of your Turbo C you have three things. One is a file whatever you have written with the extension C. One file is your bit file .obj that cannot be readable. Next you have one application, that is the output of your program. If you, without compiling and running your program, if you directly click on that output application of your program, you can easily able to run directly whatever program you have coded. Okay, for that even I have given you the example of Google. Okay, because I told you that everything a computer engineer uses is a end product of a thing written in a coding. So I told you the games whatever we are using, this application like PowerPoint, Word and all those are the end product. Whatever the coding your programmer and designer has done for making this kind of implementation, you cannot able to edit it, or you cannot able to even see it. For that purpose, I have shown you the example of Google. In that the code is written for how exactly your Google page look like. That is the source code, if you remember. So the basic task of a computer engineer or a programmer is to design your program or your product in a such a way that it must be easily accessible by the user, and it must be user friendly. There should not be any confusion about how to use it. Also I have given you the example of mobile phones. You change your mobile phone, still some of the functionalities are remain same. The camera clicks the pics itself, the camera won't do any task like making a call and all. So the basic things has to be done, and your program goes through these 6 steps when it becomes your product, or we can say the application. You write your source code. Preprocessors includes all your files and symbols present into it. Your compiler compiles your program, convert it into obj file. Your linker has to link all the libraries present for running this code. Then when your program has to be get loaded into the memory, then and then only you can able to perform the task. Once the program is getting loaded, the CPU is responsible for executing this complete program, and at the last on your output screen you are able to see what exactly the code you have written and whether the expected output. Okay, so that we discussed in previous lecture. So next thing, as we discuss algorithm, as we discuss program and its life cycle, we have some properties or characteristics of algorithm like finiteness, definiteness, effective and input output, that shows that whatever the algorithm I have written are perfectly correct. In the sense, these are those characteristics are the measures to check the quality of your algorithm. Similarly, there are some measures has to be there to check the quality of your program. Means whatever the program I have written, whether it is perfect or not, whether it can able to execute my work as per my requirement. For that purpose, what are the measures? Those measures are written in some kind of a questions. In the sense, if all those questions, how many, 1 2 3 4 5, yeah, 5 questions are there. If the answer of this 5 questions, whatever the screen I have projected right now, if answer of all these questions are positive or yes, then and then we can say that whatever the program I have written, it is good, or we can say the quality of program. So whatever program you have written, you have to ask that program some questions that will be acting as measure to analyze the quality of your program. The first question is, does it do what we want it to do? Means if I want addition operation to be performed, it has to be perform the addition operation, no other thing, right? So this question you are supposed to ask to your program before executing. Next, does it work correctly according to the original specification of the task? In the sense, whatever I have declared variables are there, those variables are taking actual value what I want. If I want a plus b, the variable should be of integer, not for the character. Then and only you can take the addition operation. So everything work correctly according to the original specification of the task. Original specification in the sense, currently I want addition of two numbers. So your program must take input of two number itself. Later, if I want to perform addition of four numbers together, so your program has to be changed according to what exactly the variables will be changed, and the program should work which accepts four input and then perform the addition. So original specification needed. Original specification is nothing but what exactly you want to do. That is nothing but a simple, the teachers give you the problem statement, write a program to perform addition of two numbers. This is nothing but the original specification. Next, is there documentation which describes how to use it and how it works? Now, in companies, in software companies and all, whatever the task they are performing, a particular documentation they have written. What is the meaning of documentation? Is nothing but your algorithm or the steps you want to write or perform for the execution of this program. Means, if suppose one from the company, if suppose one person left his job, okay, whatever his task he used to do, that task he has written somewhere. So someone who got a new job and he is on the place of the previous person, by simply reading those documentation, any program or any work that person can do. So the thing is, according to the software programmer, they have to write everything or make a perfect documentation in a such a way that every other person except with him or other person, those he is not present over there, he can also read it and he can also code it. Okay, if some person from other company comes for exist for performing this task, the new one, those who got new job, he can also perform the task. So everything has to be written, a perfect documentation has to be right. Documentation is nothing but your algorithms or steps how exactly the person has performed this program, right? Next, next question you have to ask to your program: are procedures created in a such a way that they perform logical subfunctions? See, your program is actually getting divided into sub models that you will see in second year or third year, how exactly some functions and there are like your compiler construction and all such kind of a subjects you have. In that you can able to see what exactly as your program, if suppose 10 lines program are there, it will get divided into two sub functions or two sub parts. Okay, so how exactly each part can able to perform the work, you can able to analyze it. So after dividing your program into different sub parts, you have to check individually whether each part is working correctly or not. If all parts are working correctly, add together at the last, combination of these part means output of one part will be the input for your next part. Again, output of second part will be the input for your next part, so and so. So as my program is getting divided into different parts, those parts, each part should individually perform well, and after that at the last you can able to perform the final task. Okay, like addition of two numbers. So all the subparts or sub functions which are obviously will become a logical one because you are performing logical task here. So every function must be logical one, and it should perfectly work, and it should perfectly created to give a final output. Okay, then last questions you can you have to ask to the you have to ask to the program is my code is readable? Readable in the sense, the one who is a computer programmer, and if that person who know basic C programming language, if I have written one code, you can the third person should able to understand that what exactly this person want to perform the task actually. So the programmer should write your code in a clear, unambiguous manner so that other person can able to read it code, and if he want to make any changes, he can able to change it. So to check the characteristics and the quality of my program, I have to ask these 5 questions to the program. If you are getting the answer of these questions positively, then you can say that my program and my quality of my program is good. Okay, so these are some measures to analyze your program. Okay, getting any doubt? Right, so we'll move to the next point, ADT. Now, what is the meaning of ADT? This is the last point from your chapter number 1. ADT is nothing but abstract data types. Now, what is the meaning of abstract data type? First, we'll see the definition. Then I'll give you the real life example, and then I'll give you the data structure example. Okay. Then you will get clear what is the meaning of ADT. Okay. ADTs are nothing but short form of abstract data type. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of abstract data type? Abstract data types are the entities that are or we can say are entities that are definition of data and operation, but they do not have implementation details. Means they will take information about what kind of a data you have, what kind of a operations you should have into your program, but no actual coding is available for representation of your abstract. Then different programming language will have a different style of implementation. Okay, now for clarification or for clarity of these two definitions, what I'll do, I'll show you one thing. Wait a minute, I'll change the screen. Okay, someone please unmute yourself and tell me whether my screen is visible. I have shifted to the notepad.
Yes, ma'am. It
Yes.
is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Abstract data types are like, okay, I write in bracket ADT. Okay, these are abstract data types. See, whenever you are looking at your data structure means all data structure that we discussed previously, primitive data structure, uh, also non-primitive data structure. So primitive and non-primitive. In that primitive, all comes your basic integer, float, and all. And your non-primitive data structure will have this linear, non-linear data structure, linear versus non-linear, and in that you have your all examples of stack, queue, linked list, sorry, stack, queue, graph, and what is remaining? Tree. Okay, so these are data structures. So abstract data types, in we are looking at to the data structure. Data structure includes all those things, primitive as well as non-primitive, integer, float, double, character, all, plus your stack, queue, linked list, and all the data structure we are considering. So whenever I am representing abstract view of data structures, I have consideration of all those entities. Okay. Now see this. We have two ways actually to look at your data structure. The first way is we can look at that data structure like mathematical view. Next, it can be the logical view. It can be the abstract view. It can be a abstract model, or we, okay, directly I will write model over here. Okay, this is the first way to look at your data structure. Second way to look at data structure is implementation. Okay, now implementation will directly comes under the, or it is also called as a coding. Means my actual program is I'm implementing a task given as a problem statement. Okay, now first basic example I want to give you over there. Okay, first example, to explain these 2 points. What is the meaning of this? All of you have newspaper in your home, right? In newspaper you got some headline. Okay, in headline there are some 2-3 lines written. Okay, that's two three lines gives you what exactly the coming news is about to. Okay, 4 lines they give a small description, like this kind of a robbery is happened in so and so date and at so and so place. Okay, this is in 4 lines they cover it. On so and so date the robbery has happened at so and so place. Okay, next, in what happened in next news, what it gives, a complete description they give at so and so day at so and so date. The person who is named with, this is the person or this is the home at where the robberies happened, how many people were there in the home, at what time the robbery has happened, and so on. Okay, now what is the meaning of this? So whatever the bigger description is there in my newspaper, that bigger description is falling under the category of implementation. And what is the first 4 lines? They have summarized you about what exactly the coming news. These first 4 lines are called as a not mathematical over here, but a we can say abstract model or abstract news of what is going to happen or what is the news is actually of. So this is the example. Are you getting what I am trying to say? Someone please unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, why I have given you the information, or why I have given you the newspaper as example, because see, whenever you are looking at the data structure, you have to give always remember the definition of a data structure. The data which can be of any format, you have represented in the form of uh, logical or understandable manner, so that it can be easily readable, accessible, and efficient way, so that user can access it. So the newspaper is the example where first 4 lines are the abstract part of what exactly the news is coming. Okay, this is called as the implementation, and first 4 lines are nothing but the abstract. Okay, so this is the first example. What is the abstract data type is? Now in this, whenever you are considering abstract data type, we are considering only the abstract model but not implementation. Okay, not implementation. This is called as abstract data type. Means we don't bother how exactly the program is going to be, in which language it is going to be, and so, but we are only considering the first part. This is called as a abstract data type. Okay, now the definition of abstract data type, as I told you, that it refers to the data and operations but do not have implementation detail. Okay, and different programming language have different style of implementation that we discussed just before shifting to the notepad. Means it have the definitions of data and operations, only data and operations. So I'll give you one more example. Wait a minute. Okay, now the first definition tells you that it have only data and operations but no implementation. Okay, this is the basic definition of abstract data type. Okay, now I want to give you the example. Okay, let's consider first the example of a simple. I told you the first example I want to give you. Let's consider example of smartphone. Okay, now for this, your smartphone varies according to the cost, according to the specification. Okay, now but basic task of your mobile phone is common or same. That is, uh, it makes basic call, it takes a camera, or it takes a picture and so on. Now according to that, if I want to make abstract view, okay, wait a minute, I'll simply shift my screen. So instead of notepad, wait a minute. Okay, I have shifted to Microsoft Word. Is it visible? Please unmute.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Thank you. I want to give the abstract or logical view of my smart. So the basic data, okay, it is getting divided into two parts. One is called as a data. I told you that you have two things. I have written the definition. Definition part gives you example of abstract data types have data and operation, but no implementing. Yeah, this is my basic definition. So according to that, I have to first consider data part, and then I will move to operation. Okay, so the data, what can be. Okay, so the data for my smartphone is like, it should have 4 GB 4 GB RAM. Okay, I must have this kind of a data. Second, let's consider some 2.2 gigahertz. Okay, it can be more, but I am writing some example. Okay, only 4 GB RAM. Then I should have some 2.2 gigahertz processor. Then it should have like 5.5-inch screen. Okay, I will write like this. Then it should have, if I want to buy new camera, it should have dual camera, like front and back. Okay, for my smartphone, this is my data. Okay, this is my data. Yeah, now for the smartphone, if I want to do, or if I want to perform. Okay, am I audible? No, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because some network quality is low at my place, as I'm not in a college, so I have to consider this. Now for operation, just wait a minute. So data is there, okay, operation is there. Now for my smartphone, I'm giving you data wala part, and next one is operation. So what kind of a operation uh, my smartphone should do is like, it should be able to perform uh, calling first, right? Next, it should be able to click the photographs. Okay, it should able to click the photographs. It should record the video as I'm having a camera. Okay, next, according to the data, I have to mention the operations. Okay, if RAM is there, it should load all the things as per my task. Processor, it should work on anything. Then like calculator and all. If I'm having a screen, it should be touch screen, and it should open all the task as I want to open, or by clicking it should open whatever the what I can say. Okay, if I click on a message wala symbol, it should open the application of messaging. Okay, that I want to say over touch screen. Okay, so these are some basic operations. So see, whenever you are mentioning operations, I am writing over here a function wala symbol. Okay, function wala symbol in the sense calling has its own function, or we can say it has own operation, because why I have given this functions wala symbol, because see, I'll give you example of calling. If I want to uh, implement calling as a basic task or operation, what I'll do, I will first go to the calling operation and see, for every functions you are writing or you are following some steps. Those steps are nothing but your algorithm, and then you are executing that task. So when I want to make call, first I will click on phone call wala symbol. Then I will go to contact list. I will search to whom I want to make a call. Then I'll click that person to make a call to you. So I'll call it. If you have two sims, it asks you to call from Idea wala number or BSNL wala number, and so on. So depending upon sim, you you again click on particular sim, then it will establish the call. Meaning, for single operation calling, I have to again implement 5-6 steps to execute this function called as a calling. So all the operations follow some kind of a steps. So for those steps, everywhere operation has to be written with the help of a function. Okay, again similarly, if I want to click a photograph, you have to open a photograph wala thing. You have to choose front wala camera or back wala camera. Then again camera gives you some kind of a um, uh, view or features, blur background and so on. All those features are there. You are selecting it, and at the last you are clicking the pics. So that's why all the operations whatever you have mentioning into the abstract view are represented with the function part, or it is represented with the function symbol. Okay, I hope you know, are you getting what I'm trying to say? Because your C programming basic main function is there. You are writing a main, and after that you are writing a round wala symbol or round wala bracket. That is nothing but your function symbol. Okay, so for that purpose, every operation which is following some kind of a steps, those are functions or operation, I can say that, that will be written as a part of an abstract view. So getting what I'm trying to say, the smartphone example, data and operation, that is nothing but your smartphone. Now implementation view, I have given you the second definition. We are not considering the implementation part. When you are representing the abstract data type, you are only focusing on this part, not this part. Okay, but I'll tell you what will be the implementation. If suppose I want to perform this kind of a thing as an implementation view, what I'll be writing, um, okay, if suppose I'm writing in C++, okay, it is not for you, but for a better understanding, I'll write it simple one, like class is smartphone. I will write integer, okay, integer RAM size. Okay, then I will write some string for that processor company or processor name. Okay, then I will write float. uh, okay, here 5.5 is screen is there, so I will write float screen. Okay, then these are my members. I will write some function like void call. I'll Okay, so this is, I'm not teaching you C++, but for help, for better understanding, I'll write void call, then I will write void text messaging, void text, I will write void photo or click, and so. So actually this is your implementation part, curly bracket close. So we are not bothering this. As I told you, implementation details or different programming language will have a different style of implementation. I have given you here the example of C++, okay, where you are writing this uh, number, your members and your operations in a single curly bracket. Your C program will have a different implementation, your Python will have a different implementation, so on. So different programming language will have a different implementation, but whenever I am representing abstract data type, I need to consider only two things. One is data, second thing is operation. So the abstract data types only focuses on data and operation. I am bothering only with this part. Okay, I don't want to bother this consideration, so I'll make it as a red. So I don't want this. I want only the abstract and logical. Okay. Now, if suppose, okay, let's take example of data structure. Okay, data structure example I want to take. If I choose array, okay, wait a minute. I have written something over here. Data structure example like array. Okay. Is this primitive or non-primitive? Anyone remember? Array is primitive data structure or non-primitive data structure?
Non-primitive.
Give me answer. Reply me, someone, or otherwise I will choose. It's non-primitive. Sure. Yep. Okay. Non-primitive data structure, and also this is one. This is also one of the methods to represent the data structure. What are the two methods to represent data structure? Anyone answer me?
Primitive
I
and
told
not primitive.
methods. I told you stack, queue, linked list, and stack, queue, graph, and tree. These are the data structure. But there are two ways to implement this data structure. One way is array. Second way is a linked list. So I can write a program in array to implement stack. I can write a program of linked list to implement stack also. Okay, so array and linked list, these are way to implement the data structure. Okay, data structure example I'll tell you. Similarly, like this abstract logical view and implementation view, we will implement the example, or I'll show you the example of array, just like I've shown you the example of smartphone. Okay, smartphone example, it's data and operation similarly over here. Okay, now for array, what exactly it does? We know that how many what we can say, how many numbers are there? 5 numbers are there: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. These are the values. We know array is represented with the help of indices. So my index always starts with 0. 0 with suppose I am writing this as integer a of 5. Okay, my a of 0 will have, this is word, won't take smaller number. Yeah. Okay. A of 0 is equal to 10, a of 1 is equal to 20, and so on up to a of 4 is equal to what? 50. Yeah. Okay, this is the example for array. Index memory address, I have written memory address. Okay, it is assumption. We don't know actually where exactly the value is getting stored. as I am writing it as an integer, so memory address always begin with the, or it always uses 2 bytes. So I have written 1000 for first value, 1002 for next value, difference of 2 each in between. So 1004, 8 and 10. Okay, so these are indices, these are value which I want to store, these are memory address. So I want to focus on abstract view. Okay, now what I'll do, first I will write implementation view. So implementation view of my array, how it will look like: integer a of 5, as I have given you already the values, it will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Yeah, this is my declaration. If I want to print something, implementation view of above array will include this part. Okay, print f. Okay, consider this first p is smaller, as it is word, it automatically makes the first letter as uppercase. Okay, so percentage d double quote complete comma, I want to write a of 1. Okay, so to represent this array, my output will be, what will be my output on my output screen? This is the basic answer, 60. Right, not 69. What is this? 20. Yeah, this is my 20. What it does, it actually took a of 1, and whatever stored value is that a of 1 location, this is this one, the 20 will be get in front of us in our monitor. Okay, that will be your implementation view. But whenever you are considering abstract data types, we are not bothering your implementation. So your output over here is, I will write 20. Okay, in abstract or logical view, if I want to give the information about this, what I'll do, I can write store some values, store set of values, actually store set of values, because it is array, set of values, or we can say elements. I'll write elements of int type. Next, I should have abstract view, because I'm writing printf, I have to write read elements by index. Okay, then if I want to modify it, I have to write modify elements by index. Okay, like this. So what can be my operations? My operations will be operations. Okay, my operations will be just a minute. Operations will be reading a data, right? Printing a data. Can be one and the same. You can say read the data, print the data, modify the data. Okay, what else we can do on this operations of array? Anyone can suggest me? I can read it, I can print it. See, reading in the sense I am taking the values from the memory, and printing is nothing but I am taking the value from value and taking the value from memory and printing on the screen. Okay, modify in the sense, what I can do, I can change this a of 2, instead of a of 2 I can write a of 4. I can modify this. Also I can modify these values, instead of 10, 20 I could write 20, 32, any numbers, like any numbers which is of size 5. Okay, also I can modify this integer a of 5, instead of that I can write integer a of 10, and according to that I can modify something. Okay, so these are the some basic operations I can perform on my array. Okay, so data can be considered whatever I have written upper side. Data is this. Yeah, and operations are like this. Depending upon data, I can change the operations or implementation. Okay, so I hope all of you are getting what is the meaning of abstract data type. Now coming back to this, just wait a minute. Okay, any doubt over here? I have given you two examples of ADT, right? Abstract data type. Any doubt in this? Abstract data type of smartphone example, and next our area abstract data type of array. Okay, meaning we are considering only this part. Whenever I told you to write abstract model, we are not bothering implementation view. Okay, so I make it red. Getting this for the array. Any doubt over here? Please unmute. And getting what I'm trying to say?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So just wait a minute. I'll stop the screen and I'll begin the next one. Just a minute. One second. Give me 1 minute. Okay, I have shifted back to Notepad. Is it visible? Is someone unmute?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
It is
ma'am.
visible. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, coming back from the original
Yes,
where
ma'am.
we have started. Yeah, thank you. Okay, coming back to the original from where we have started. It is set of data and abstraction, but no implementation. This was the example. Now, the basic property or that two things we were discussing. There are two ways to look at the data structure. One is a mathematical and logical model or view. Now, in this, to describe this wala part, okay, first way to look at the abstract data type. The first way to look at the abstract data type is it will specify, okay, it will specify the things, it will specify the things, data structure, okay, I'll write smaller henceforth. It will specify the things data structure is going to we can say have. Okay, means if my smartphone is there, it specify the things what is have, like 5.5 screen, your camera, your 4 GB RAM and so on. Okay, it specify the things the data structure is going to have. Also, next thing is when you are representing anything in a abstract model, you have there are some rules and we can say protocols. The rules and protocols to be followed. Okay, so whenever I am representing anything in as an abstract model, you have to represent or you have to follow the rules and protocols for mobile phone. So if it is a mobile phone, let's say it must be the handy or smaller enough. If you increase a screen or if you increase the size of your mobile phone, and if it is not getting fitted in your pocket, then ultimately it becomes your tablet or it becomes your laptop. Okay, so screen must be smaller as companies, mobile phone companies follow some basic rules and regulations to be implemented. So rules and protocols has to be followed for everything that you are representing as a abstract model. Second, what I can say in this first wala point, if okay, the direct definition I can say using this rules and regulations, using these rules and regulations, what I can say, using these rules, regulations and protocol, whatever you design, whatever okay, whatever you design, that model is called as abstract model. Okay, so this is the description regarding first point. You have to look at the data structure in first mathematical, logical or abstract model. These three rules has to be satisfied whenever I'm saying I'm looking my data structure as a first way. Okay, now when you are going to implementation wala part for abstract model, not abstract model actually, what we are discussing this line, two ways to looking at data structure: mathematical, logical model and implementation. So whenever I am having implementation, I can write the definition of or the description of this part. Second wala point is I can say that use all rules and what your protocols or your regulations, use all rules, regulations and protocols whatever defined in point 1 or defined in point 1. Okay, and implement it in programming language. Okay, this is the description of your second part. So whatever the things they have given in your point number 1, that is abstract model, you can say that I can take the input like this and I can implement my program or whatever I want to implement in any programming language. Okay, so all the rules, protocol, definition, you take it from point number 1 and implement in a programming language. Okay, so in short summarization, abstract data types are the data types where only data and operations are there but no implementation. Any data type or any data structure you can write as an abstract view. Write as abstract view in the sense we discussed. For example, okay, if I'm considering stack, I can write stack as ADT, abstract data type, and also I can write stack program using like say array. Okay, so stack ADT in the sense you will be writing only data required for the stack and operations required for the stack, and whenever you are performing this you will take the input of this and implement your program in C. Okay, so all the data structure can be represented as a abstract data types or abstract data type, which is nothing but version of or a logical or abstract model which consists of only data and operation but no implementation. Okay, this is all about abstract data type. If you have any doubt, okay, anyone please give me one example of like I have given you the example of smartphone. Anything you have that you can give as an example of abstract data type like I did. Okay, just wait a minute. Summarize for the summarization. Someone give me this. Wait a minute. I'll share my screen. Okay, I have shifted to Word again. Okay, this one. So I have given you the example of abstract data type for smartphone. Can you give me any such example? Smartphone जसं आहे तसं अजून काय असू शकतं म्हणजे ज्याचं आपण असं रिप्रेझेंट करू शकतो. Yeah, please someone unmute yourself. quickly respond me, as it is Saturday, weekend is there. I don't want to extend more 10 minutes. You also can get what yeah. I can't hear you. Who replied me? Sorry, I can't hear you.
Projector, ma'am.
Projector. Yeah, projector is there. Yeah, it's also have some data. It will have its operation. Yeah, correct. Any any electronics example can be represented as an abstract view. Like I can represent TV. I can represent fridge. I can represent washing machine. Anything. Am I right? So those who have given me the example of projector, you please answer me what is the data projector and what is the operation projector can perform. Okay, projector wala answer who has given it, please unmute yourself and give me fast answer. It's already 12:30. Or anyone, okay, who knows the answer of what I'm asking. I want data and operations of projector. Anyone, please unmute yourself and can answer.
For data, projector has a RAM, graphics card, and camera to project screen.
Okay.
And operation projector screen and zoom in, zoom out functions.
Yes, yes, correct. Okay,
And
thank you.
implementation view.
No,
Class as
implementation view. See, implementation view is not necessary because abstract data type only focuses on
okay,
left wala part.
okay, ma'am.
Left side part. Okay, thank you. Anyone who want to speak something regarding any example?
Ma'am, sets. Another example is sets.
Example? Sorry, I can't hear you. Please speak loudly. Who is speaking? A40? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Can you give example or data wala part and operation wala part?
In sets, data is elements and the operations can be union, intersection.
Yes, correct. Right. So I hope, thank you. I hope all of you are getting what is the meaning of abstract data type. Okay. So we'll stop here. This end up with your, wait a minute. I'll stop my screen. Just a minute. Okay. Okay, I have coming back again to PowerPoint presentation. So these two things we discussed, data operation, no implementation. Every programming language have different implementation. So abstract data type is set of object with set of operation. It is mathematical abstraction where you can mention what are the set of operations and it is implemented. Objects like list, set, someone has given the example of set, very good. Objects such as list, set, graph along with their operation can be considered as the abstract data type, just like an integer, real, boolean and are data types. All have operations associated with it, and we can perform operations like given example. You can add something, you can remove something, you can resize it, or you can change what it contains. So these are some operations that can be performed on data structure if you consider basic. Okay, so these are information, or these are the description of about abstract data type. So that end with the first chapter. So quickly I'll go to the first slide in the sense where your your syllabus is there. You can see is syllabus is visible? Please someone unmute.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So from first chapter we discuss what is data, 4 or 5 data types, the definition of data structure, types of a data structure. Just now we discuss abstract data type. We discuss representation of information, character, integer and real. Characteristics of algorithm we discuss, effectiveness, finiteness, input output, and what remains, definiteness. And we discuss program, life cycle of program, 6 steps are there, and how to analyze your program by asking 6 questions so that I can say that my program is perfect. Okay, so that end up with your chapter number 1 as it is very small. What I'll do, I will share your PPT of chapter number 1 to you on your WhatsApp group. So it will be helpful for you to study your chapter number 1. Okay, from next onwards we'll take some revision, or if some points remaining, like okay, in next lecture whatever we are going to do I'll discuss in the next lecture. But if you have any doubt from chapter number 1, we can discuss it in next lecture. As I'm sharing the PPT, just go through or go through all of you from there, and if any part is not understand, or you are not recalling it, or you are not getting it, tell me in the next lecture. We'll summarize again the point from the chapter number 1. Okay, okay, so shall I stop here as you don't have any doubt? Okay, I have stopped screen sharing. So all of you, thank you very much for attending this. Okay, so I'll close the meeting. Okay, we'll meet on Tuesday, same timing as per the timetable. Okay, thank you. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.